Okay, I think I have it working. I say I think because I'm not in the garage. I'm in the summer house because I'm working with fabric and the garage is too messy. I can't be risking it, to be honest. So yeah, I'm at the end of the garden and there's a chance that everything just drops out and stops working. So I hope that isn't the case. But it very well might be. Judging by the feed that I've got pulled up for Twitch, it looks like it's kind of sort of frozen. So we'll see. We'll see how lucky I get. I will try and do stuff, and if it's not working, then I apologize. I don't have many options. Not really. Uh, Live and unstable. Yep, that fits. Well, I will try, and I'll see. I'll see what happens. But I am going to be waxing some stuff today, specifically with one of these suckers. So I will confess I have cheated and I have done a bunch of this already. Uh, it's a long story. I've been meaning to stream a whole bunch of stuff, and as I was saying in the run up, I had Fantasy Forest. That was was it last weekend? Was it the weekend before last? I feel like it was last weekend, but that's too soon, surely. Hang on, I'm gonna check my calendar because that's messing me up actually. It was the weekend before last. Okay, I thought so. That's fine. Yeah, weekend before last, I had Fantasy Forest, which was amazing. But on day two, I was hideously unwell. Um, I I think it was some sort of horrendous cold or something that I contracted literally just before I went there. Um, but I don't know. Either way, I was so not okay. I went for day two anyway, and I had a good time. But the week after that, I was so unwell. It's ridiculous. So I didn't get anything done particularly in that week. And then this week I've not been like I'm still not well, but I've not been too bad. So I've kind of been speed running stuff just for the sake of getting things done because I'm sweating over time at this point. So I have waxed a bunch of other pieces, but I thought it's only fair that I try and stream what I've been doing. Because again, I've been doing all of it in the summer house. So streaming was always going to be tricky because connection and blah blah blah. But I wanted to try. I've got time lapses that I can upload. Uh, but I wanted to try and stream something because I should really objectively I should. Uh, so I'm gonna really hope that this is doing something. Although I did refresh my feed 5 minutes ago and it's still trying to load it. So there's every chance that this isn't working, but okay. It is what it is. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, hopefully a VOD will be fine. I don't know how these things work. It might not be, but I will just have to deal with that as it comes, to be honest. But I wanted to at least demo what I've been doing this whole time. So, my plan is wax a bunch of patterns on a load of fabric then dye it, and then the waxed areas will be left undyed. That's the premise. Batik waxing. I did it once in secondary school, and I hadn't done it since, so I was kind of winging it. But it's not turned out too bad. So let me first try and show my reference. Or one of my references, I should say. So I've been using the light spirits from Twilight Princess, and it's really hard to tell because of the ring light. I turn that down. Is that any better? Probably not a whole bunch. You can kind of see what I'm going with. So the patterns on this are my inspiration, basically. The light spirits from Twilight Princess, which I believe I discussed as being my inspo back when I was first devising a bunch of this. And I will be clearing my throat a whole bunch because I am still ill. So I'm sorry. I have a drink here with me though. Ugh, I will try not deafen everyone. That's my inspo. So I've been using those kinds of patterns and drawing my own sorts of things. Oh, okay, I can see a thoroughly delayed view of my stream, so it's kind of coming through. But again, if it's terrible, I'm really sorry. There's actually nothing I can do about it. So, as I was going through and testing all of this, I found that keeping things hot was really awkward. Because initially, I had like a warming tray. You know when people have like dinner parties and they've got those just like trays with heating elements in to keep plates hot and stuff. I had one of those, a metal bowl on it, and wax pellets in there. That in itself was fine. That worked to melt the wax. Cool, good for me. I thought I was a real genius with that one. Trouble was, the tool that I was using, keeping that hot, I had it resting on the same thing. It just didn't, it wasn't enough. And it was constantly cooling down and clogging the spout and being a pain, and it took me ages. So, power tools. So instead of bothering with the warming tray and a dish and all the rest of it, I've literally been blasting this with wax in it, little pellets in there, blast it with my heat gun, jobs are good. So that's been my strategy. And I will be using the Light Spirit reference and probably also pictures of stuff that I have done so far. So I've been taking pics as I go, and then basically just sort of mirroring that. But it might help me if I go and get one of them physically so I can judge the scale I've been working to. Because everything's been pretty consistent. I've been quite fussy with it. So yeah. Let me run and get another couple of those real quick. And I can show them as well. That's handy. So bear with me a sec. I'll be back in a tick. back. I have a throat sweet. Talking is going to sound bad, but I shouldn't be coughing as much, hopefully. But here's one I made earlier, just for the sake of example. Not the best light to see it in, but you can kind of see what I've been working on. Basically just doing that. And theory being that when I come round to dyeing it, all of these patterns will come out as the lighter patches. That's the plan. And I'm going to use that as another reference so that I can keep the scale consistent. And then, yeah, hopefully work out. Now, I don't know how loud this is going to be, so I apologize in advance, but I'll check the audio as I'm doing it, and if it's bad, then I'll just mute the mic. I didn't usually be melting it over what I plan to work on, because that's asking for trouble. But I wanted to show how quickly it works, really. I'm going to keep doing it off to one side. Now, there's something of a knack to these. I will never fill them up too close to the spout, because, you know, you're just going to end up with a load of wax. Drips where you don't want it to. And that's bad. I'll keep it away from the spout. And I'm filling it. Jeez, I'm sorry. And, yeah, from there, I will more or less kind of sort of wing it a bit, to be honest. I've got a plastic bag inside, so I'm not getting wax go through several layers. And then I'll just sort of make it up, really. I'm just double checking because I'm paranoid. Yeah. So I like to start with the circles, because they're really my favourite aspect. And you've got to work quickly with these tools, because they will drip and you will cry. So I am working as quick as I can. The trouble comes with the wax solidifying. So I will constantly be blasting this with heat. Because it solidifies very quickly. I've got a little dish that I'm wiping off any drips in before I start up again, because the drips will be your undoing. Just will. If you've never seen one of these tools before. I'm going to do this because I don't trust it. The way they work is you tilt it up, you get the wax to flow through the little spout in the crucible, and you tilt it back again to stop the flow. So you have to be quick, and you've got to know where you're going. Because it's very easy to drip stuff where you don't want it. And so far, I've actually not been super terrible at it. Nice. Kinda hard to see what I'm doing from a distance. I wonder if I can bring this any closer and if that'll help. Maybe slightly. Will it focus? Focus. Focus. Please. Kinda. Okay. Because I'm having to stop and warm everything up again on a fairly constant basis. So, yeah, it's going to take me a while to get through all of this. But I'll start by like mapping out the basic sort of patterns, and then I'll sort of thicken up all the lines and various as I'm going along. So yeah, it's a whole process, and because it's thoroughly improvised, there's no real like set guide that I'm following. I'm just going with, oh, I like these patterns, so I'll do something like that. And that's kind of just the whole thing. I am genuinely making it up as I go along and just trying to get something that's kind of inspired by, but isn't a direct copy of. Because I didn't want that. The whole point of this project was that I was designing my own thing, you know? So that's what I intend to do. Can I move this any closer? Does that help? I'm just looking at the camera feed and I'm very aware that I kinda can't really see a whole bunch. I'm wondering if I can fix that at all. But wax, so I think it's just going to be kind of hard to see, to be honest. And if I'm missing any chat messages, then I apologize. My connection is just not good. I'm just hoping that this as a process is vaguely visible. Like, I want to take this in another direction. Once I take that along, definitely a knack for working these things. Jeez, my throat is the worst. I am sorry. But yeah, there's definitely a knack to them, and it doesn't help that I have no idea what I'm doing with the patterns themselves. It doesn't matter a whole bunch, but you know, if I had something that I was like tracing, this would be an awful lot easier. But because I don't, it becomes a little trickier. But that's the whole point of this project. I wanted to do stuff I hadn't done before. I wanted to try new things and just experiment with stuff. You know? See where it takes me. Because I have a real habit. It's not a bad thing necessarily. I've got a real habit of sticking to what I know. And that has its perks, of course. But I'm one of those people. I get the most out of stuff if it's an improvement. You know? Constantly looking to expand skill sets, try new things. And this definitely falls under that. Good grief. Throat soup was supposed to help, but it so isn't. I want to get another line coming off this way. What I think I want to do. Just checking I'm not doubled up on anything. Should be okay. Won't take it all the way to the edge, just that's the problem with this, is that it goes from doing nothing to doing everything. Then you kind of just have to work with it. Try and make something up. Let me spin this round and see what I can blag from that. Really, I should have streamed the flat pieces, because you would have had a much better idea. This is going to be just a pain. Because the other pieces I could keep flat. But this, because this is the hat, like I wanted to have all of this joined first before I did the patterning. The other pieces, the seams are going to be pretty much hidden. This, not so much. I wanted to sew it all together first. That's yeah, I'm going to sew it all together first. And then kind of mess around with stuff after the fact. I can make this looking. I reckon. That's better. That looks more like it's supposed to be there. Cool. That's all I want. Where do I want? Oh. It'll be down from there. Okay. And everything's cooled off again, because of course it has. But I have to be wary of it just dumping stuff out. If it does do that, it's super frustrating. But I've just been sort of faffing with it to make it look intentional. So, it's probably fine. I do like the smell of melting wax. It's pleasant. I'm not using like paraffin wax. This is just beeswax. Smells really nice. So that's been a plus. To be fair, this whole process has been pretty therapeutic. Definitely been pleasant. Ah, screw, screw you. I'll make you work. I'll come back to you. I need to think about what to do. This, that. That. I like the patterns that are more connected. going to be a lot of chopping and changing and moving stuff around. Just because this is very much an assembled thing. So it's going to be a case of trying to see what works. And moving things around to think. Then I'll thicken up a bunch of lines and stuff later on. That's fine. Take this out for a second, it's annoying me. I'm just going to hold it up and have a look. Okay. Gives me a better idea of what I want to do next. I need to take some stuff up. Let me try and do that. The flat pieces were lovely. That was great. I could see exactly what I was doing, and everything was fine. But this one's going to be tricky. Because I'm going to have to account for going around the sides. That's going to be awkward. No, I want something going this way. The case of, do I want it going? Because then that matches with... Okay, that's not so bad, actually. I don't want it to do that, because that's too similar to that. Take something up. So this is just improv, to be honest. Seeing where things go. And if I ever spend a lot of time away from the camera and not talking, it's because I'm using the heat gun. It's keeping this thing hot is essential. But also annoying. You know. Something more like that. I don't like how close these are together comparatively. Something needs to go in here. Maybe I just figure that out later. Do a bit at a time. I want to take this down. How far do I want to take it? I want to go much further than that, really. It's fine, but I can have it branch. Unless, of course, the nozzle's clogged up again, which it probably is. Sticking a needle in the end. Oh, a pin, I should say, rather than a needle. Just to try and unclog the spout. Because it clogs up pretty regularly. And I fix this just by making it thicker and pieces, maybe. I don't know. We have to fix this gap. I take this. The spout is going to be the death of me. This is why this takes such a long time. Things cool and clog and blah blah blah. But then if you put too much in at a time, then it goes everywhere and you can't win. Working on this for 3 days. 3 solid days. Just taken me that long. It's just so stop start. And again, it'll decide, actually, nah, I'm going to have a load come out at once for no reason, despite of your best efforts. And then it's just cool. Suppose I'll try and accommodate that then, yeah. Unnecessary. But I can fix stuff as I go. That's kind of been my and I will mess with a lot of these lines periodically as I decide what I kind of do and don't like about various. Oh, network error. Awesome. That's my favourite. For all I know, none of this is coming through. I think I'll give it until an hour, and then I'll stop streaming and I'll start recording instead, and then I'll just upload a VOD, because I think that's probably going to work out better, to be honest. I don't think the connection is stable enough all the way over here. I'm probably just going to have to mess with that retroactively. I don't want to take it too far in one direction, because I want to see how it affects other areas. I'm going to keep rotating it. Just to make sure nothing looks weird elsewhere. Things alright. Just jump scared myself with the cable from the heat gun. Reasonably impressive. But ho hum. So I think I want to get another. And then I want to connect them some. So I reckon a little bit of. And I'm staring at my references this whole time, trying to make stuff make sense. Technically pick that up, but do I want to? I kinda do. Nope, ran out of wax again. Awesome. You can see why this has taken me 3 days. As I say, the flat pieces were easy, but this I have to be a little more careful with. Believe it or not, the heat gun has sped things up exponentially compared to when I first started doing this. And if this is faster, that should tell you everything you need to know. So I think is I want to take. Not sure how far. Now I tried to refresh my feed, but it's not happening. So I am thinking there's every chance this isn't coming through on stream anyway. So I may end up pulling the plug on that and trying to record stuff as an alternative. As I say, I've got a bunch of time lapses, so things do exist. Just not much comparatively. Which is fairly frustrating. You know. Bigger, probably. Or do I just try and do something similar but different? Would be a better way of approaching it. Fill in this line. Or not. Out is one. It's screwed. Cool, okay, that's fine. I will try and unplug it. Ramming a pin up there to try and fix the spout. Works, but then end up with a bunch of drips again. So it's all just trying to be extremely careful. All time. remotely frustrating. Not. But I want to do it right. Takes as long as it takes. Yes, that is a massive black line on the fabric that I tried to remove. And that's the best that could be done. I'm going to weather everything eventually anyway, so I'm hoping it doesn't actually end up mattering a whole bunch. But that remains to be seen, to be honest. See how lucky I get. I reckon. Assuming anything comes out the spout, which it isn't because it's blocked again. It's going to take me a while, to be honest. Already, that is taking them. Expecting it to flood, yeah, of course. I wouldn't know. At least I knew it was gonna. There's no in between. Either floods or it is just blocked, and it drips. I will fix that. That's the thing. A lot of this ends up dictated by how unruly the tool is. And that's with me deliberately not filling it up much at all, because, I preempted that. Even then, it's like, nah. I think I'm just going to be a pain. It's thoroughly irritating. But the added complication definitely comes from needing things to rotating stuff as I go, so that hopefully nothing ends up looking odd when sort of next to another piece. I think this is one of those processes that is just objectively less painful in time lapse form. definitely the case with a lot of what I end up doing anyway. But this in particular, it's going to end up better as a time lapse. So I'm approaching the hour mark. I have no idea whether any of this has actually made it through. Because, as I say, my connection just doesn't really exist down here. It is what it is. Suppose there was an attempt, but I don't think I'm going to be able to have much translate on camera anyway. So I'm probably just going to have to jack it in and talk it up to well I tried. And then I'll upload the time lapses separately at some point. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. So, assuming this has worked, I apologize. But I'm really expecting it to have just not worked at all. So, I still apologize. And I will be back with better connectivity somewhere else when I've finished this as a process. So, bear with, and I will get back to it.